we're going to talk about prompting. A big mistake that people make when they start RPM with their student is that they don't give enough prompting in the beginning. So let's say that they're on this board and the child is spelling the word big. Oh, sorry, wrong way around. I'll just rotate you a bit. You know, it's almost like a test. It's H, E, G, and it goes on and on. Yeah. And the child might finally bang B and it's like, yay! But, you know, what is your belief in that situation?
And it could be, well, oh God, my child doesn't even know his letters. He doesn't know his letters and he doesn't know how to spell big. That could be where you're coming from, and you're trying to test by holding up the stencils and say, prove to me that you can spell. So all you're doing is transmitting to the child that you don't actually believe in their intelligence and their ability. You know, I mean, to be frank, it might be that you have to teach the letters and it might be that you have to teach to spell, but you need to transmit to this child that you believe in their capability to learn.
That's the most important thing. Not everybody comes to RPM with the ability to spell. Some people do, but that doesn't matter though. You know, if you really feel that your child doesn't know the letters, you'd actually deal with that in the same way as somebody that knew the letters and just couldn't get their arm to it. So I'd just be saying, oh, okay, we're going to spell the word big. But this one, that's it. Get your arm there, good. B for big. And we'd carry on. So you want to be so encouraging that the person just loves being there. You know, it makes such a difference to watch an encouraging session where the person feels really supported and believed in. And then when you look at a session where, you know, it's H, A, what?
So, you know, overall, you're building the child's esteem, you're making them feel successful, and you're giving as many prompts as necessary in the first stages to ensure they are successful.
Definitely. And you can't really give enough at the start. If you kind of wrote a transcript down of a provider giving prompts in the beginning, it will probably be a paragraph for a word. It might be, that's it, over a bit more, push it through, stab it through, that's it, B for big, keep it going, nearly, I. Because we just want the person to be successful in the beginning. We'll worry about reducing them later. At the start, you want the person to be successful, and crucially, you want to build some good muscle memory to each letter. If you're allowing the person to wander around, that's not helpful for the muscle memory at all. That's going to actually create some bad motor habits. It's much better to be really direct in the beginning. Over here, that's B for big, down, down. Okay, now the next step, obviously, after you've done all of these prompts and your child's becoming successful at kind of pointing where you're kind of maybe directing them to, is that obviously you want to kind of pull back. So I'm just going to demonstrate on this board to give an example. So let's say this is like your first couple of weeks on RPM, and if we're spelling the word house, it's over this way. Yeah, touch it. H, over this way. Oh, and we're going to go all the way down. That's it, keep it going, push it down. U, up, yeah, touch it. S, and all the way up. Yeah, keep it going. Yeah, E, house. So very slowly I'd want to work on giving less prompting. So the way to do this is you just start giving small chances every now and again, and you just slow yourself down. So let's say we're going to do that again, Sue. And you can be a bit wobbly, a bit off. So here, that's it. Push it up, this way. Yeah. H. So I just pointed then when Sue needed the help when she was going down. So H, that's it. Come over this way. That's it. Yeah, you're going to get it. Just touch it. O. So she didn't need any help then other than verbal, just some encouragement. And all the way down that way. That's it. More. There we go, U. So you see, the first time I pointed to the U, then I just gave kind of a gesture. And then all she needed then was just the encouragement to get there. So from touch U again. Okay, U. Keep it going. Yeah. That's it. Yeah, touch it. S. And all the way up. There you go. See, you're a very slow pointer. Then you have the stabbers. But you see though, so it might be very subtle at the start. You know, it might be at the start you're kind of doing a really big stab, and then you might just be able to get away with over that way, over here. And you want to get to a point where you can kind of just go H, O, down, U. A good way to, if you feel like you're having a really hard time with beginning to reduce your prompts, just focus on reducing them for the last letter of each word. So let's say, you know, Sue's just done the S for house, and then I'd go, and I give like a big kind of and see if you can get that one herself. And then you obviously just take off the prompts for the last two until you don't really need to give any prompts at all.
Yeah. And one of the difficulties is, and this is something that I personally, you know, have found, is that you actually get into the habit of giving lots of prompts because that's how you've started off. And particularly if you've got a child who has needed lots of prompts, and this can become part of a habitual part of your session, which is that you're so used to working with the child and you're going up, over, up, finish it. So you're giving lots of verb prompts, you're giving lots of verbal prompts, and you forget to reduce them. and that then is not helping with the skill of working towards independence. You know, and you know, I have to say at times I have literally held the board myself, and I've sat on the other hand, which is the one that I've, you know, been used to giving the air prompts with, just to stop myself from doing it. So that's something just to look out for.
Sitting on hand is a good technique that we do recommend. No, seriously though, like, you know, you have to like almost like put something on top of your hand sometimes.
Yeah.
But the thing is, though, like, and then you can kind of go too far the other way. So right, I'm going to reduce them all.
Yeah.
Then you're kind of going back to the first step of when you kind of like, you should know how to spell and you can do it. So, you know, you have to be kind of easy with it. So that's why I just say, you know, just slow down the prompts. Okay, H. Oh, they seem to be getting there themselves, so they don't need me. Oh, they're getting there, you. And then, oh my gosh, they're going all the way up here and they need to be S. Down this way here. So you just jump in when they actually need the help rather than, you know,
Now the time when it's really important to not be giving prompts is during open communication, you know, because it's so important that the child is believed in terms of this is their words, and that RPM is presented as a credible method.
Honestly, I don't even know how people can give prompts during open communication because you don't know what's coming. So how can you? Like it just seems quite obvious, doesn't it? Like how can you actually give a prompt during something completely open?
Unless the only, you know, it just seems that if you are, you will be predicting the words. I mean, and the words that will come out may be your words rather than the child's.
Yeah, a good example of that is yesterday I was working with somebody who doesn't require any, you know, air prompts or any verbal prompts, and he put something like, this has been and then he just got up and jumped really randomly. He doesn't usually do that, and everyone went interesting. And when he came back, he did insightful. But if I'd have thought interesting though, and then I'd been like, T, all of E, then I'd have influenced his answer. He didn't want to say that. He didn't find it interesting. He found it insightful. But also though, it's really important that you check that, you know, your child's got a few skills before you move on to open communication. So have they actually got the motor skills without you doing all of this waving to be able to point accurately by themselves? Can your child spell? You know, if you've been really pointing at each letter, how do you know that your child has a phonics skill? So when you're reducing the prompts, that's a great way for you actually to assess, like, oh yeah, they're getting it. And you might pick up sometimes, oh, you know, they struggle with TION words, chun at the end, so I need to work on that. You know, like without kind of making these assessments, you can't really move on to there and know that your child's going to be successful, and that's what we want for them. We don't want to kind of push them on to a stage that they're not ready for.
Yeah. And as a parent, you know, I can totally understand why, you know, that's the goal is we all want open communication. We all want our kids to be able to talk to us and to tell us stuff, and we're keen to get there as fast as we can, you know, but honestly, build the skills first, and then you will get the quality communication later.
People that invest their time in skill building, even after they've got open communication, are the people that, you know, it's just a bit of a breeze for open communication, because all you have to do is sit there I, and you're just looking at where the person's pointing rather than, oh my gosh, where they go, they're wandering. You don't have any of that extra noise in your head because the person's pointing is so strong at that point that it's just an easy job then. Yeah. And that's what you'd want to do rather than, you know, you don't want to be in that situation yourself, and you don't want to put your student in that situation either. So, skill. Okay. Got a big skill talk today.